The other NFC game we had in the recaps this week, we had the Eagles punking the Giants 38-7, beat them down from start to finish. This game was utter domination from start to finish. It was 28-0 at halftime if y'all missed that game. The Giants allowed 268 rushing yards, and they had 227 total yards of offense.
Awful.
They allowed more rushing yards than total yards gained for them. That's ridiculous. Offense was bad. Defense was bad. Danny Dimes was Danny Pesos this game, ladies and gentlemen. See what happens when you start to give a man some props and they turn around and they make you look like a fool on your podcast show. But that's okay. That's what you're here for. It's, you're going to be wrong a lot. You're going to be right a lot. That's how this works, right? So, but Danny Pesos went 15-27 for 135 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 5 times. Saquon Barkley, 9 carries, 61 yards, somewhat ineffective. Richie James was their leading receiver with 7 catches and 51 yards. He has nobody to throw the ball to. Even if he did, the Giants their defense were still going to allow 200, almost 300 rushing yards. That's ridiculous. So you can't expect to win football games like this. So they made me eat it, Sam. What'd you get from this game?
I see you finally coming to your senses with Danny Donuts over there. So, hey, that man did nothing, man. And I told you that man wasn't nothing. You play a sorry ass defense, you're gonna have big numbers. But when you play a top elite defense, one of the sack leaders defensively, man, guess what, man? They're gonna show you exactly why they're one of the top seeds, bro.
So wait a minute, you blaming this all on Danny Dimes? Was he supposed to go in and play linebacker? Was he supposed to go in and play deep? Bro, 38-7. They just allowed 300 rushing yards.
Bro, it doesn't matter. You're supposed to do something. You're supposed to do at least something. But he didn't do anything. Him or Saquon didn't do anything.
None of them did.
There was overmatch. And like I say, I just don't feel like he's that guy, man. They're trying to make him seem. I know Skip Bayless called him Vanilla Vic last week.
Oh, God.
I was appalled. And I called you and I told you that crazy jump, man. So, like I say, the hype is over with that guy. I don't even know if they're going to re-sign him next year.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. But listen, man, I understand. If you say that you don't think he's a decent quarterback, he's not an elite quarterback, or you don't think he's a franchise quarterback, that could be debated. We somewhat talked about it last week. I get all of that. You know what I'm saying? I can agree with you at some points. I can disagree with you at some points, but you can't sit there and put that whole game that just happened last weekend on him, bro. It's not on him. When he can't go out there and play defense. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that if the defense would have showed up, obviously they still would have scored 7 points. So regardless, he wouldn't have got it done. So he gets a good part of this blame, but like, you can't put it all on him is what I'm saying in that game.
Bro, the Giants had one of the best defenses all year.
What happened to him? That's what was crazy to me. Like,
what happened to the offense? It wasn't even close. It wasn't close. At no point of that game was it close. Them boys are not ready for that big light, that big stage. They had the game in Minnesota, yes, but they had one of the worst defenses, bro. That's why I can't go with the hype on Daniel Jones, bro. Like I say, we don't know if he's going to get re-signed. We don't know anything about that stuff right now, bro. For real, like they had one good season, they overachieved. And I think that's the end of that Cinderella story, bro.
It damn well could be, and I picked them just as an upset pick. Obviously, common sense always told me that Philly was a better team. It wasn't about that when I picked, I just figured a couple of these games there's going to be an upset. What if that, I kind of bought into that. I thought their defense would show up, but even if the defense would have showed up, Philly would have still beat them. Philly's way stronger than them. Jalen Hurts is on a tear right now. He's looking solid. He didn't have to do too much that game because they were running like crazy. 16-24, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gainwell, the running back, 112 rushing yards.
Gainwell.
Sanders, 90 rushing yards. Even Boston Scott was getting involved. Like they were just running, doing what they wanted on this defense, bro. Like it was crazy. They did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. It was utterly pathetic showing for the Giants. It really was. But I mean, you have an upside because that's your first year head coach. It's your first year head coach and Brian Daboll. So, I mean, you can't hang your head too low on that. You really can't. So first year, you make the playoffs, you get a playoff win. and then you're
Yep.
one game away from the NFC Championship. The Giants were one game away from the NFC Championship. The New York Giants with that
That's
roster.
crazy.
I mean,
That's
I'm pissed.
crazy.
I'm pissed if I'm a Jet. The biggest thing that hurts is you lost to your division rival who you hate so much.
Right.
That's the only thing that hurts. If they would have lost to anybody else, they would be chilling right now. Like, yep.
Right.
Wait till next year. We got this. Wait till next year. But that's a tough loss, man. It really is. But the Eagles ain't playing no games right now, bro. They ain't messing around.
Deadly birds. For real. Angry birds. That's what I should say. Angry birds.
There you go. How about this? I'll transition to this real quick. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Darius Slayton are all free agents heading into the offseason. Darius Slayton is their leading receiver too, in case you were wondering. This offseason, they're all free agents. Who are they bringing back?
They got to bring back Saquon. I think they should probably get Daniel Jones for like a 2-year. I wouldn't do nothing like multi-year, more than 2 years. Try to draft or pick up somebody or whatever. And Slayton's probably gone. I think Slayton is probably going to get him another position somewhere else and another contender.
That's interesting to look at it like that. You definitely got to have Saquon back. You definitely, if
100%.
you lose Saquon, you better just start from scratch right then and there.
Right.
If you lose the Saquon, you might as well let them all go. You got to bring in all new pieces. You got to bring in a whole new everything. But Daniel Jones, that would be good to give him a couple years. I don't know if he'd go for that, but I mean, he would be smart too. He likes what he's, he likes where he's at, and who knows what he can do with Brian Dable. I definitely would. Right. I would concur with bringing him back a couple years. Saquon, lock him up, and then some.
Right, multi-year, definitely.
And Saquon,
highest paid running back.
I was just gonna say Saquon just reported. I don't know if you've seen that in the news, but he's not looking for the highest deal ever for a running back. He knows how the market works, and he has stated that he doesn't have to be the highest paid. So maybe it means something to him that he wants to stay. So I mean,
right.
Man, fuck that. Get your money, dude.
Bro, he does
You're the best.
Much.
You're the best, bro. Get your money. I don't care,
bro. He does so much.
Yeah,
he does so much. So awesome, bro. This man is so awesome. You got to lock him down. Everybody else or whatever, you can kind of put that stuff together. Daniel Jones, I feel like he's on the rise. So that's why I say a couple years, maybe the 2-year, 3-year with the team option. You feel me? 3 years with the team option on the 3rd year. And I think that would be set. That'll get him set or whatever to find somebody else or whatever that they can get at that quarterback position or whatever, prototype quarterback, because he's definitely not prototype, but he's sporadic. But like I say, he's a decent quarterback, and he's coming into his own now.
Yeah, and Darius Slayton's solid too, but I'd like him for like a solid 2. So it depends on how much money he would want and how much you could talk him down for, because they still got to get a premier 1 receiver. If you get a premier number 1 receiver in the Giants and you keep Slayton as like the number 2, you got Isaiah Hodgins, and you maybe get one more guy who's like a speedster, but you need a primary number 1. Daniel Jones needs a receiver. He needs a receiver. So that's where I'm going to leave that. And that's what they got to do.
I think they need a lot of pieces on offense, man. They need a lot of pieces. Because like I say, Saquon, man, is the bulk, handles the bulk of the load.
Well, another running back wouldn't hurt, definitely. They need like a cat, like a Tony Pollard who compensates like Zeke or something. That'd be obviously not as good as Tony Pollard. He's a Pro Bowler. They don't just come like this. But I mean, you can pick up a guy who's hungry, a young buck off the practice squad who's trying to earn his way. Like, they're out there, man. Running backs, there's so many good running backs. But so you another running back wouldn't hurt him. I think a tight end.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying a tight end wouldn't hurt either.
Right, they definitely need that. But in this year's draft, man, there's so much talent in this year's draft, just like last year's. So it's going to be a couple pieces that they probably can pick up and stuff too, just for the low 3rd, 4th round picks. It's going to be a lot of great guys in this draft. So, man, mark my word, bro, they're going to pick up some pieces.